Get it? Hi everyone, it's that time of year again. It's Christmas! Time for some terrible movies. I shouldn't say that. You know, I love Home Alone 1, 2, Elf, A Christmas Story, and many more. But segue to voiceover DPX.
I'm gonna play a game with you. What do Winnie the Pooh, Bambi, Peter Pan, Steamboat Willie, and Pinocchio all have in common? Well, if you said that they're all old children's cartoons that entered the public domain within the last few years, and now people are making terrible low-budget slasher films based on them, well, that's awfully specific, but you'd be correct!
What does this have to do with Christmas, you may be wondering? Well, there is one cartoon that beat all those others to the punch, but nobody talks about it.
Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey is probably the most well-known of these cartoon slasher films, but just before it, a small studio called Atlas Film Distribution, I think that they're the distributor at least, put out a movie called The Mean One, which was adapting How the Grinch Stole Christmas into a slasher film. Sounds dumb, but to give it credit, I can totally see the Grinch murdering people as opposed to Winnie the Pooh, whose entire point is that he is innocent and is a bear.
Now there are two things I gotta make very clear. First, this is a very low budget film. You know, it has a budget of very low. I can't find like the actual budget anywhere. But either way, you know, I'm not expecting much. You might even want to say that I shouldn't be talking about this because it's low-hanging fruit because of how low of a budget it is. But they are cheating by using a popular IP, so I'll do what I want. And the other thing is, you might be wondering, wait, Dr. Seuss characters, they're in the public domain? No, they're not. This movie tried its best to get away with it, and as far as I can tell, it seemed to have worked. But without further ado, let's go watch The Mean One. The Grinch Slasher film nobody remembers.
Well, I mean, for a low-budget film, it seems like everyone wanted to be a part of this movie. I mean, geez.
Remember that story about Cindy You-Know-Who?
Nah, can't say I do. I mean, I remember Cindy Lou, no more than two, but I can't say I know who Cindy You-Know-Who is.
So the movie starts with kind of like a recap of what happens at the end of the original Grinch cartoon, with a narrator narrating the movie in rhymes.
They loved their Christmas, those folks down in town. But what if I said, that's not how it went down?
Uh-oh.
So apparently how the story actually goes is Cindy's mom comes in, fights the Grinch, or, I'm sorry, the Mean One. You know, we gotta avoid that cease and desist. Cindy is very scared.
Mommy, no!
The mom then drops a nutcracker with a needle sticking out. The Grinch, in self-defense, and yeah, I'm just gonna call him the Grinch because, you know, that cease and desist is not my problem, pushes the mom onto the needle, killing her in front of Cindy.
Monster!
So yeah, that's how we're starting this off.
I'll be honest with you, this is clearly more of a parody of the Grinch rather than a full-blown adaptation. And as far as parodies go, not a bad setup. We then jump to 20 years later, where Cindy is all grown up and driving around with her father as they approach.
Oh, I see what you're doing.
So I would assume in order to avoid getting sued by Dr. Seuss's estate, they changed the names of many characters or places in this movie. So that's why Cindy Lou is now Cindy You-Know-Who, and Whoville is now Newville.
Admittedly, kinda clever. Gotta give credit where credit is due.
So then a cop car comes out of nowhere and pulls over Cindy and her father, and this happens.
And folks, ma'am?
Ma'am? Did he just ma'am me?
Oh, you do not want to ma'am her.
No.
Yeah, how dare you show her respect by calling her ma'am. Do you know who this is? This is Cindy You-Know-Who, also known as counterfeit Ronda Rousey, not ma'am. How would you like it if I called you sir? Ladies watching. Yeah, all 2% of you. Genuine question, do you guys actually get offended when someone calls you ma'am? And am I dwelling on this too much?
Turns out this is actually a meet-cute. Cindy is meeting the love interest of the movie. A cop. We don't know his name.
By the way, you wanna know why he's pulling them over? It's because they decorated their car with noses and antlers.
I'm just gonna skip through the rest of this scene because it's really not that important. So as it turns out, Cindy and her father are moving back to the old house, you know, the same one where the mom died. But they're back to sell the house. Even though they left the house, I don't know, maybe they still own it. But either way, it is very spooky.
Very spooky.
Turns out though, It's a false alarm.
So you're not at all worried that there's just a bat flying around in your house now?
So we then cut to a scene in a diner where we meet this woman who is running for mayor.
Come on out and vote for a brighter tomorrow.
Oh, damn. Something tells me this woman's not well liked around here.
Where's your dad?
Oh, he's off buying every Christmas decoration he can find.
Wow, you want a scene that's on the nose? Look at that. Christmas? What?
So the cop from earlier is also with a different cop, who happens to be the same cop that was sent to Cindy's house at the night of the murder. And this is the dialogue exchange they have during a flashback scene.
He was green like this. We found this outside. Whoever did this must have dropped it. Redraw the man you saw.
I fucking love this scene because it's so stupid. I mean, as the audience, we know that it was the Grinch, or the mean one. You know, not an actual person. But let's just say, hypothetically, it was just a normal guy in a green mask. So if that was the case, Cindy doesn't know what he fucking looks like. Oh, you're wondering about this, right? Oh yeah, that's right. Give me all your shit. Now, come on, hand it over.
So after that, we learn that the town of Newville just doesn't like Christmas. And we also learn that this cop is Jewish.
Do you put up decorations?
Oh, I light the candles 8 nights a year.
You're Jewish.
Was it the nose?
No, it's because of what you literally just said. But yeah, I don't know why we're learning this, you know, before, I don't know, his name. And we also learn that despite only having one interaction with her, he is a total simp for Cindy.
And we needed that scene in the movie because...
We then get a montage of Cindy and her dad putting up Christmas decorations, but then, as it turns out, the Grinch didn't like that very much and murdered Cindy's dad right in front of her. And obviously I can't show this scene because of YouTube, but honestly, maybe I could have because there are so many jump cuts, I don't think YouTube could detect any violence. But I don't want to take any chances. So we then cut to Cindy now in a hospital bed because people think she is crazy, and I mean we literally just cut from the murder scene to Cindy in the hospital. There's nothing that happens in between. Kind of weird.
Cindy, I'm Mayor Margie McBean. I am so sorry for your loss.
Listen, I know you're in the process of grieving the loss of your father, who died not even 24 hours ago, not to mention already having to grow up without a mother. But I would really like it if you could vote for me.
You don't think... I mean, it can't be the...
The Christmas killer is back.
Yeah, I guess. It's just... She seems so certain.
Yeah, she does seem certain. Flat Earthers seem pretty certain too.
By the way, this is editing DPX here. I noticed that I barely talk about the mayor at all. I just want to say that I fucking hate her character and everything that comes out of her mouth. She says some version of building a brighter tomorrow like 20 times throughout the entire movie, and her line delivery is awful.
So what do we do?
Our jobs.
Like, yeah, let's not even bother with the second take. Alright, yeah, rant over. Let's continue. Oh, this guy again? What's gonna happen? Who is he? Oh, so we're doing this bullshit?
You're leaving?
No reason to stay now.
Except there is a reason to stay. Didn't you, like, come back to the house with your dad to sell the house? And now you're not gonna sell the house? At least sell the house! Get some money out of this!
So not much really happened here, except we learned that the cop's name is Burke Goldman. And yes, like I said earlier, he's a total fucking simp.
Also, Burke? Is that a name? Like a first name? Oh, we'll let it slide.
We then cut to these mountains where Cindy is on a bit of a hike, taking pictures up there, but then...
Oh shit! Wrong month!
So Cindy finds a wallet.
Sounds kind of random, but a pivotal scene that comes back later.
Then it turns out the Grinch is murdering a whole bunch of hikers in the daytime. I mean, it is in the woods, so I mean... Cindy runs to the scene because movie and finds out that this monster we call the Grinch, but the characters in the movie legally can't, is real. And we get our first good look at him.
Honestly, I think they struck a good balance between, you know, looking enough like the Grinch where you know it's supposed to be him, but looking different enough to where they won't get sued. Also, side note, the guy in the Grinch costume, you know, the guy playing the Grinch, is David Howard Thornton, who also plays Art the Clown in the Terrifier movies. I guess maybe, you know, covers his face and it doesn't go on the resume, but it's too bad IMDb exists.
Also, I get this is an extremely low budget movie, but couldn't they have like shot this differently to where, you know, it's not right in the sun? Did they not realize how this would look?
I know this is hard, but can you describe the man who attacked you?
Not really. My glasses flew off. I couldn't really see anything. But you saw the monster, right?
Cindy, listen, I understand you are, you know, you're the main character and everyone thinks you're crazy, but if you're trying to tell this person who's already half unconscious to describe the attacker after they already said and already made it clear that they did not see the attacker and couldn't describe them, not only do I think you're crazy, I think you're fucking stupid!
Why won't you say what you saw? Tell him about the creature. Tell him.
Because you didn't fucking see him! I'm getting a little worked up over a low-budget slasher parody of The Grinch. I'm not even 30 minutes into the movie yet. Let's continue.
I have proof.
Hellboy? Bigfoot?
Hellboy?
You need to pull your head out of
Easy.
the sand, Sheriff.
Yeah, watch it. This is an R-rated slasher film, okay? You can't be saying words like ass. You're allowed to say fuck, shit, bitch, dick, pussy, cunt, twat, and but you can't say ass, okay? That's too far.
This discussion between Cindy and the sheriff explains that the mountains are federal territory and not of concern of the two cops. So then why are they there? I don't know, whatever. What else this scene establishes is that after the Grinch murdered Cindy's mom, the whole town of Newville stopped celebrating Christmas. But since we are led to believe that Cindy ruins everything, this is how the sheriff conveys this information to Cindy.
You ended Christmas.
Damn, tell her how you really feel. We then cut to this party of Christmas douchebags, who are clearly drunk and stop off at this bar, and I don't even want to show you this scene or even say what happens, because it's genuinely awful and disgusting, but maybe it is worth it because the Grinch comes out and murders the entire douche party. And I will admit that this is probably the best and most entertaining murder sequence thus far because we get some genuinely creative kills, and you can see David Howard Thornton really nailing the mannerisms of the Grinch. But, once again, I know this is a very low-budget film. But why did you have to find green screen effects of blood off of YouTube? Couldn't you get, like, you know, corn syrup or ketchup? It's like $5. I don't think it's that outside of your budget. We then cut back to Cindy putting a flyer for the Grinch over a flyer for the mayor.
Take it down.
I'm not doing anything illegal.
Except, I think you are. Don't you need permission to put up flyers? Oh, maybe it's different in Newville.
And then we cut to Cindy at home where her power goes out and the Grinch is outside. But then Cindy accidentally punches this old man who they've cut to before in this movie. But as it turns out, he actually saved Cindy from the Grinch momentarily. Then we cut to Cindy and the old man at a bar after an establishing shot of the bar, revealing that it is called Horton's.
And the only reason I'm mentioning that is because this bar is called Horton's. This movie is a parody of The Grinch. The Grinch was made by Dr. Seuss. Dr. Seuss also made Horton, Here's a Who. I know they don't want to get sued, but they're really poking the bear.
I had to keep an eye on you.
And that doesn't sound creepy at all.
I'm so sorry that thing killed your parents.
What thing?
Oh, fucking give me a break, Cindy.
What is it?
Finch! Order from Mike Finch!
Oh. For a second. Thought you were gonna say the Grinch.
So what this scene actually is this guy dropping some serious exposition. He explains the reason why the people of Newville don't celebrate Christmas, and that's because anything even remotely Christmas related, the Grinch will track down and murder whoever is celebrating Christmas, as he did to this old guy's wife one time as she was mailing a family member Christmas presents.
Interesting idea, which I noticed, I feel like I've been complimenting this movie quite a bit. You know, more than I was expecting to. But I have to commend them for establishing rules and sticking to them. It's a low bar, but I'll take what I can get.
He's slippery, he's elusive, he's smart, he's so damn smart. He's a mean one, that Mr. Finch! Last call for Mike Finch!
I get it. I get it.
Will you go to the station with me and make a statement?
I've talked to your sheriff until I'm blue. He won't listen to me.
I think he'll listen this time.
Nope.
Well, that's actually pretty good.
So after all that happens, Burke goes to the mountains, despite already establishing that that is outside of his jurisdiction, but goes there anyways, finds another wallet, and a reindeer plush that conveniently plays Jingle Bells, but manages to escape the Grinch as he runs into the old guy from, like, just a second ago.
Who are you?
Matthias Zeus.
Zeus? Like the god?
Well, everybody calls me Doc.
Matthias! Mr. Dr. Zeus!
Dr. Zeus. Oh, I get it!
Although admittedly clever, they are really playing with fire with this movie. I mean, the fact that they made this movie in the first place is risky enough, because the Grinch is not in the public domain. But Cindy You-Know-Who, Newville, Hortons,
Finch! Order from Mike Finch!
and now Dr. Zeus? Not to mention, you go on IMDb and you find out that the dad's name is Lou. I don't recall anyone ever referring to him as that in the actual movie, but that means any scene with Cindy and her dad is actually Cindy and Lou. Real subtle, guys.
Hey, you got permits for these?
You gotta get yourself a weapon, boy.
What? Why?
'Cause you're a cop? You mean you're a cop who doesn't have a gun?
So nothing really happens in this scene except Dr. Zeus somehow manages to tell Burke a little bit about the Grinch while not really telling him anything at all, and I'm not going to explain that, and I'm not even going to show you the scene. Burke then, I don't know, teleports to this campfire with Cindy, and the sparks are really flying.
You already forgave me.
I did?
You forgave me for passing off store-bought matzo ball soup as homemade.
Why'd you do that?
Because I wanted to impress you.
Well, I am impressed.
Yeah, I'm impressed. Fucking cheapskate.
So we have an incredibly pointless shower sex scene. I don't know why this is in this movie, especially since it turns out to be a dream.
Made it hard to know
Pointless?
I'm gonna kill it.
Oh. So maybe it wasn't pointless.
So we get this training montage as Cindy prepares to fight the Grinch. And I will say, this montage is actually pretty entertaining. It's probably the most well-made part of the movie on a filmmaking level. So now we're about to fight the Grinch. Can't wait. Except we're gonna have to wait because we're back to this bullshit about the wallets. And then we cut to Dr. Zeus being sad and then goes to his car. But before he could even start driving, he's getting pulled over.
Can you pull someone over before they start driving? I guess if you're clearly drunk and are about to start driving, you gotta do something, so I'll let you have that one.
Ridiculous. I didn't do nothing.
Which is a double negative, which means I did do something.
Come on, Doc. Twice the legal limit.
Wait, twice the legal limit? But you pulled him over before he started driving. God damn it, movie, I gave you a pass on that. Never again.
Then we get Burke showing Cindy some new info on all the wallets and IDs, which I'm sure is supposed to be classified information, and an officer is not supposed to tell anybody, even if he wants to fuck them, but we need to have a movie.
Here, check this out. Yosemite hiking pass. This one.
Is clearly photoshopped. So it's fake. Investigation over, fuck you.
But then, plot twist.
This website's telling people to hike new mountains. So I kept digging and digging, and guess what I found? This website is run by Mayor McBean.
I knew that mayor was up to no good. But wait a minute, so all you had to do was just search the website's IP address and then you find who owns the website? How did it take this long to find out this information? Also, weren't we gearing up for Cindy to fight the Grinch? Whatever happened to that?
Actually, Cindy, I really think that something bigger is going on here. What are you doing?
Now, officer, you see that, and I understand you're in love with this woman, but, like, does that not make you at least a little bit suspicious that she has all these weapons in her room? No?
What are you doing?
Preparing?
To invade France?
What?
I'm not crazy. 20 years they convinced me I was. Oh, and Frankenstein eat your granny too?
Oh, actually, you know what? Frankenstein wasn't the monster. He was the doc.
Oh my god, he's one of those people.
Now, I would move on from this scene because it's rather skippable, but Burke does say one thing.
You gotta find a way to forgive.
We then cut to the mayor driving into the woods, but then Christmas music starts playing from her car radio, which causes the Grinch to come out of the woods and murder the mayor. Looks like there will be no brighter tomorrow, or any tomorrow for that matter, for this woman.
You can't keep me here, Sheriff. I'm sober.
You ain't been sober in 20 years.
11.
Yeah, get your facts straight, Sheriff. 11 years I've been sober, not 20. The 9 years before that, I was perfectly sober. But it was the past 11 years I have been pissed drunk. Wait, shit.
But then Officer Burke comes back and confronts the sheriff. Turns out he helped the mayor cover up the murders or something.
Wait, but wasn't the whole point of the mean one supposed to be that he hates Christmas and he only kills people celebrating Christmas? Why send people to these mountains so he can kill them when he only kills people for Christmas reasons? And why does this apparently work?
They showed all throughout the movie the Grinch killed people who had Christmas decorations up or were dressed as Santa Claus, but whenever there was someone who wasn't taking any part of that, he wouldn't kill them. What happened to the consistency?
Yeah, you might not be sober, but go ahead. I'll let you out and you can drive yourself home.
Then, despite the fact that it's been almost 20 minutes since the training montage ended, we're not at the fight yet, because Dr. Zeus has to scare the shit out of Cindy, telling her that Burke went up to the mountains. Something I forgot to mention. Yeah, he went to the mountains. Again, even though that's outside of his jurisdiction, but... Movie?
Let's just see if he's still sweet tomorrow. What? What? Wait! A little help!
Ah! What the fuck, Cindy? He asked for your help! You cut his legs off! Why?
So Burke tries to lure the Grinch by singing Christmas songs, and then the dreidel song, which is not a Christmas song, but whatever, because that somehow works, and he falls into a trap set up by the Grinch, but the sheriff comes and saves him.
Sir?
Did you just sir him? Oh, you don't want to sir him.
So after that, the sheriff goes and takes on the Grinch alone, while Cindy and Dr. Zeus help Burke, but try to go back to help the sheriff. But, yeah, he's fucking dead.
Get him to the hospital.
Hey, what's your play?
Time to roast this beast.
Oh, you want to roast him? Oh, that's easy. Hey, Grinch! Fuck you, you piece of shit! Roasted. And by the way, it's a good thing that we then cut to Cindy back at her house, because from that scene that we saw before this, she was walking towards the cave and not, into the car to go back to her house. The magic of editing.
By the way, I just want to say the training montage started at 49 minutes and 36 seconds. It ended at 51 minutes and 48 seconds. We don't actually get to the climax of the film till 1 hour and 16 minutes and 14 seconds. It seems like they accidentally wrote the training montage a little too early into the movie, so they needed to do all this other stuff, but we're finally here.
Guess who?
With a gleam in his eye and a trigger finger that itched, the hunter proclaimed,
Merry Christmas, you green bitch!
So now, we get the long-awaited fight between Cindy, with some help from Dr. Zeus, and the Grinch. Or the mean one, fuck you. We get this scene where the Grinch almost kills Dr. Zeus, which you probably couldn't tell because of the fucking lighting, but then Cindy comes and saves him.
Come on, let's get you to the hospital.
Yeah, let's just leave this monster we've been getting ready to fight at the house and just...
So we get a fight between Cindy and the Grinch, which is entertaining, although littered with jump cuts and terrible lighting. But then we finally get Cindy pinning the Grinch down, about to stab him. But then, Cindy finds a necklace that she gave the Grinch the very first time they interacted, at the very beginning of the movie.
You can't. Why, Santa Claus? Why?
Shut the fuck up! Yeah, that line does not work at this point in the movie. Fuck off!
So we got a flashback that reveals that the Grinch never meant to kill Cindy's mom. He just fought her in self-defense and inadvertently killed her, and then was framed a monster after that. I'm sorry, you mean to tell me that this whole movie you've explained to me about how irredeemable this slasher villain has been, even having all the characters call him a monster, and him really being the mean one, to then have this scene at the end be like, well, actually, he's not that bad. He didn't mean to kill anyone. He was just stealing Christmas. It was a misunderstanding that turned him into the monster. Like, get the fuck out of here with that.
Yeah, you definitely just contracted an incurable disease.
I forgive you.
Oh, and who would have seen that coming from that scene earlier?
You gotta find a way to forgive.
No, but in all seriousness, they didn't go the predictable route, you know? They switched things up a bit. You know, even if the route they went didn't make much sense, I think it's still commendable that they switched things up a bit. What the fuck? Oh, I get it! His heart grew 3 sizes. Kind of a dark spin on that. Oh, who am I kidding? This whole movie's been a dark spin. What am I talking about?
We then cut to the news where they are reporting on people discovering Newville for the first time, and people finding out about the Grinch, making him almost like this mythical Bigfoot-like figure. I don't really know what purpose this scene serves, maybe to establish that Newville now has tourists? I don't know, it is pretty pointless to be honest. But now everyone in Newville is celebrating Christmas again. We also then meet up with Cindy and Burke at a Christmas thing? I don't really understand where they are.
Guess we got a brighter tomorrow after all.
Because of a monster.
I'll never find him.
Yeah, cause he's dead. Are we just gonna? Are we just not gonna acknowledge that now? Unless he's not actually dead.
So it turns out Cindy and Burke are underneath the mistletoe, so they kiss, and then, as the narrator says,
and so ends our story with holiday cheer, and they all lived happily ever after. Well, at least till next year.
Wait, so he's not dead? What was the point of this movie then? There's an after credit scene, so let's check that out.
Hi everyone, Merry Christmas. My box of assorted Christmas decorations just arrived. Got a little delayed, but I can't wait to see what's inside. Come check it out with me.
So are they hinting at a sequel? How would they even do that? The Grinch fucking died. We literally saw his heart explode. And we established that he wasn't trying to be a murderer. Are we just going back on that? I was commending this movie for being consistent. But then you completely forgot all consistency. So that is The Mean One. The Grinch Slasher film nobody remembers. Now, often when I do episodes of the series, I like to do a little summary. I'll do a little, like, you know, sum up my thoughts on the movie or game in the episode. And I was going to do that for this one. But, you know, there's a lot of narration all throughout the movie that is told in rhymes. Because it's supposed to be parodying Dr. Seuss. Dr. Seuss is in rhymes. So I figured, why not give you my little summary in rhymes? A little poem of sorts.
A low-budget film called The Mean One was made. A parody of The Grinch of which Art the Clown played. They never use corn syrup or ketchup as blood, but the cop in the movie thinks he's a stud. In reality, he's a simp. For Cindy You-Know-Who. Not Cindy Lou, Cindy You-Know-Who. They changed the names so they wouldn't get sued. Also, there's a character named Dr. Zeus. I don't really know if that one actually works. The movie is bad, cause of course it is. Weird writing, bad lighting, and barely Christmas. Until the very end, when the heart exploded. Growing 3 sizes big, it's so parody-coded. However, it's better than Blood and Honey, which is impressive considering it was made with less money. Interesting ideas they have in here, making it better than Grandma Got Run Over by a Reindeer. But it's not worth watching over Home Alone or Elf. And those people in the bar can go fuck themselves. But it's better than expected, and do you know why? No you don't. And neither do I.
That, my friends, is the mean one. And what's this I have in my hands? This is a pretty little box. There's a note here that reads, Merry Christmas, DPX. Did you know that in a month it's going to be the 5-year anniversary of Solo Missions, but also the 10-year anniversary of the channel? From Alan, Jake, and the MiiKcast. Well, thanks guys. Let's see what's in here. Oh. Yeah, looks like I know what I'm doing in a month. But until then, Merry Christmas, everybody, and Happy Holidays.